Thomas, just having played so much football with Dion for the last 3-4 years, what was it like, one, not playing with him this fall, and then two, when you guys came back and started training together, like what did you notice about the differences in just your preparation, him playing a season versus you doing your own thing?
I say there wasn't really any major differences besides I just kind of got an early start on training for the draft and truly giving my body a rest. I say he had a little more in-season knickknacks than kind of I did because my body's completely fresh and he just played a whole half a season of football. So I say that's really the only major difference. And that was actually good for me, definitely knowing that I hurt my shoulder at the end of last year.
Appreciate your time, Thomas. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to move on to safety Brady Breeze. Brady, are you with us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I see you, Brady. I see you. We're good to go. Questions for Brady. Let's start with Megan Price from Sideline Sports.
Hi, Brady. Is there any particular type of offense that you would like to work with or specific QB?
So I actually play defense. Is that what you're?
Oh, excuse me.
I don't really understand what you're asking.
Is there several defensive programs that are having to start over, for example, Dallas? Are you interested in going to a team that has to rebuild, and have you talked to Dallas?
I I haven't really talked to Dallas about much of their schemes or anything really. But no, there's not really a specific team that, I really want to go to. I'm open to go, honestly, whichever team wants to take a chance on me and that, believes in me. There's not really, a city or a defense or coach or whatever that, I want to play for. I just want to play football today, regardless of, where that's at or who that's for. So.
Great. Thank you so much.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun.
How you doing, sir? Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. Big-bodied wide receivers are big in the Pac-12. Not necessarily speed demons, but big bodies. Is that going to prepare you for the receivers that you're going to face in the future in the AFC and the NFC South?
Regardless, you're playing against people that are going to be big, and there's going to be guys that are small. Tariq Hill is one of the best receivers in the NFL, and he's not like a huge dude. So for me personally, I'm not really worried about, playing against guys like DK Metcalf. I know that those are guys that are just like freaky big, but I feel like I'm mentally and physically prepared to play against, whoever the guys are, whether they're super fast or just super strong and medium speed or whatever. Yeah.
Those two? Thank you. Sorry, sir.
A reminder: mute yourselves if you after you have to ask a question. Max Torres, Ducks Digest.
Hey, Brady, want to talk a little bit about the defensive back culture at Oregon? We've had guys like TJ Ward come through the program. What was that like for you during your time in Eugene?
Yeah, it was really cool. We had Patrick Chung and TJ Ward. They actually came by the facility and we got to meet them and stuff. So that was really cool. But as far as just the culture and stuff, Oregon's always been kind of known for having, really good defensive backs and stuff. And I feel like, we had a really good group of DBs, when I was there, and we kind of took it upon ourselves like, hey, we got to keep this legacy going because there's going to be guys that, are going to be counting on us to, continue to keep, promoting like a good defensive back group. So, I don't know. I feel like our DB group did a good job of, trying to keep that culture going and keep, that DB group continuing to get better. You can see the recruits we're getting in now. Oregon's just going to keep on, going up each and every year. So I feel like, our group did a really good job of, working really hard and, really getting some good DBs, now going to the NFL. So that's really cool to see the culture keep on getting better.
Gonzalo Fabri, No Huddle.
Hey, Brady, here Gonzalo from No Huddle in Argentina. My question is, which are your goals entering these 20 days until the NFL draft? Which goals do you have in mind, or what do you think you can improve on?
I had a lot of goals going into pro day and stuff. I knew I wanted to hit a certain amount of numbers and stuff, and I really felt like I hit the numbers that I wanted to hit. I could have hit, Better's number obviously, but I was very satisfied, with the goals that I had for my numbers and my statistics and stuff. But as far as, the next couple of days and next couple of weeks, I'm just trying to, let my body rest a little bit. Obviously get in the weight room a little bit, get on the field, but yeah, really trying to rest a little bit before, I have to go to mini camp and stuff like that. But I do have obviously a goal of, getting drafted. I don't really know what round or whatever. I'm, expect to get drafted, first pick in the draft, not unrealistic like that. But I'm just, hoping that I can hear my name called. But I definitely want to keep, my body ready and prepared. So whenever I hear my name called, whatever team I go to, I'm ready to, go compete for a spot and stuff like that and go make a team. So, that's really what I've been doing, and I'm going to keep doing the next couple of weeks, just kind of rest, but continue to get my body more prepared for the NFL.
Matthias Ornelius.
Thank you. Brady, here's Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. During the pro day, any team talked to you about maybe doing a transition for the linebacker because you are really physical safety that can make a lot of tackles in the line of scrimmage? Did any NFL team talk to you about it, or even you thinking about it and playing the linebacker on the next level?
No, I've never been asked by any team to play linebacker yet, but at the end of the day, if they ask me, hey, would you want to play linebacker? That's where we see you, best fit on our team, then I would make the switch. I'm a guy that can kind of, I played linebacker at Oregon a little bit for 1 year. And I feel like, wherever they want to put me on the field, I'm willing to, change position if I have to. But, at the end of the day, I'm a safety, and I truly believe I'm a good enough safety to play in the NFL. But if a team really thought that they could give me more playing time at linebacker, then I guess I would switch. But I still believe deep down, I'm a safety at the end of the day. I can come in and play the box, but I can also cover people. So, yeah, that'd be a good question to be asked by a coach, but I've never been asked that question. I feel like a lot of the coaches, believe that I'm a good enough safety as well, so they don't really see a reason for a position change or anything like that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Ryan Thorburn, register guard.
Thank you.
Hey, Brady. Good to see you virtually again. Hope you're doing well. I was wondering, having played with Justin or against him since high school and with Troy Dye, does in some way seeing some of your peers, your friends have success give you confidence that you can play in the league as well?
Hey, I love the hair. I love how it's long now. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it definitely gives you confidence, seeing some of your buddies, really performing well in the NFL and stuff like that. Yeah, especially seeing Justin and Troy. Those are two that competed with them and everything like that and was able to hang with them. So it really does give you confidence as well. It's like, if they can make it, then I know I can make it as well. But it is cool just to see your buddies going out there and getting, rookie of the year and stuff like that. So it's definitely exciting for me. But I think it gives me and my teammates, obviously confidence as well. Like, hey, we're guys from, the state of Oregon, grew up in Oregon and played at Oregon. And now, those guys are getting shots in the NFL. So it gives us confidence as well. So, yeah.
James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Brady, just take us back to your decision-making process to opt out, because for those of us who saw you, obviously, man, you closed last year phenomenally, but it's still, grand scheme of things, a relatively small sample by way of playing time for teams to base your film off of, other than certainly the Rose and the Pac-12 title game. I'm assuming is two games you're telling teams to look at. So just go back to your thought process and what you referenced in terms of games for teams to take a look at.
Yeah, sorry, you were cutting out a little bit during that question, but I'm guessing what you were kind of asking is my decision process and everything. So yeah, really what came down to it is just such a short, process of, trying to make a decision to come back in and play or whatever. Obviously Chris Ball and the whole coaching staff did like the best possible job to help us, be able to play and stuff. But then, when it came down to it in August, we were told season was canceled, this and that. We were super frustrated as seniors and stuff. And I could tell the whole Oregon coaching staff was frustrated because they did every type of process we could to make it to where we could play. But then the Pac-12 still, for whatever dumb reason, they decided to, call off the season and stuff. So, we said our goodbyes. We were hugging the coaches, hugging the players and stuff. Us seniors, we thought we were never going to play for Oregon ever again. So I moved out of my apartment, moved back to Lake Oswego, was living with my parents, kind of getting ready to start training and getting ready, for the NFL process and everything like that. So mentally, I was like checked out. And then 5 weeks later, I get a phone call like, hey, you need to be here tomorrow. We got, practice tomorrow. We got a game in 4 weeks. So you got to be here and start training and stuff. And it was just like such a short notice and stuff. And yeah, that's really just what came down to it. I mean, I was obviously really frustrated at the Pac-12. And when I talked to my Oregon coaches, they all understood. I mean, we were all frustrated. The Oregon coaches were frustrated. Why the heck? We were ready to play. We were on pace. We were doing all the protocols and everything that they asked us to do. But then the Pac-12 really handled it in a terrible way and canceled our season and stuff. So we were definitely frustrated about that. But that's what it came down to. Just such short notice, and then 6 games. I mean, I didn't really see the point of it. I felt like I was mentally and physically ready, for the NFL, and then to have everything canceled and stuff, I was frustrated. But I'm definitely happy with my decision. I feel like I made the best decision for me and my family and stuff, and still happy and glad that I made that decision for sure.
All right, Brady, appreciate your time. We got to move on to Austin Falu. Good luck. Austin,
thank you.
There.
Hello?
All right.
Yep.
We're going to open up the questions for you. We're going to start with Jacob Infante from Windy City.
Hey, Austin, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. I want to talk a little bit about where teams have projected you at the next level. Do they see you fitting in as just a straight up nose tackle at the next level, or have they been wanting to move you around a little bit as well?
Yeah, so I mean, after talking to teams and just going through the whole interview process, a lot of them, were saying that they see me as a 3-tech primarily, but within my college career, I played along the D line, nose guard, 3-tech, DN. So they seen that I can play all 3 positions. So basically, wherever they see I fit most, they'll play me. But as far as like right now, 3-tech is probably the most definitive position.
Perfect. Can I a quick follow up? Is that cool?
Go ahead. Make it quick.
Yeah. So obviously you mentioned that versatility, and watching you on tape, that definitely stands out. Can you speak a little bit about the advantage that brings you in terms of your NFL prospects?
Yeah, I just think that being able to play nose guard, 3-tech, DN, it makes me more marketable. I could play not just primarily one position, but multiple positions along the D line, and I think that with having that in my arsenal of play, it definitely helps out a lot. So I think it's going to be good.
Thank you.
Kai Kanzer.
How's it going? Kai Kanzer, Daily Emerald. I was just wondering if you're doing anything to kind of adjust for the speed of the pro game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, this whole offseason, I've been training at EXO, just getting a lot of, speed work, working on my speed a lot. And I think that I need to improve more on my pass rush. So I've been getting a lot of skill guys, pass rush skill guys coming in and, just getting work in 3 days a week after my workout, just working on my pass rush, being a better pass rusher.
Muki Hawkins.
Austin, Wookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080 Buffalo. How's it going, big guy?
Doing good.
All right, man. So how has your time in Oregon prepared you for this moment, and has the Bills been in contact with you?
My time at Oregon has been great. Just the whole experience of being a college athlete. I really embraced it a lot, and just the thrill I get from the fans and all that, the hype and stuff like that was real to me. And just the energy of that, college level brings. I really enjoyed it. It went by fast, but I'm ready to, go on to the next journey in my life. The Bills, I think I've talked to once, but that was probably just about it.
Xenophon Zenny Abraham.
Thank you, Austin. Austin, what kind of player is a team getting when they draft you? Thank you.
The type of player, the teams will be getting, whoever drafts me is respectful, hardworking, humble, disciplined player. Not too flashy. I don't really do, just stay ready, just get the job done, basically. That's what they'll be getting out of me.
Thank you.
Ben Standig, The Athletic.
Hey, Austin, I was just wondering, during your career at Oregon, when you would be up against Penei Sewell in practice, to whatever degree you were, what did those experiences, how did that help you with your career, both during college and also now as you're kind of getting ready for the pros? And what can you kind of maybe tell us a little bit about Penei in the locker room and just kind of what kind of a guy he is?
Man, going against Penei in practice made me a way much better player. Just the type of level that he plays at, even in practice. He's always doing the best he can, giving his full effort, and just going against him just really made me realize, how great he is as an old lineman, how athletic he is, and I think that just prepared me for our opponents down the road. You don't really play against too many guys like Penei, and just having him same team as you and getting to practice against him just made me a whole better athlete, period. And in the locker room, he's just a really humble guy. You wouldn't think that he's a beast on the field because he's so respectful, funny. And he's just a great guy, great character all around, and I just love being around him.
Max Torres, Ducks Digest.
Hey, Austin, great to meet you. Want to talk a little bit about Coach Joe Salavea. Obviously, he has some NFL experience and has some names that he's developed. What was it like playing under him, and what are some valuable lessons that you're going to take away from him?
Man, playing under Coach Joe was a huge blessing. He was one of the main reasons why I committed to the University of Oregon. I just love everything about him. His coaching, the way he goes about everything, even in life. He's just a really good character, really good, humble guy. And I just had an instant connection to him. And I think that bond is really what helped me get throughout my college career. And, what I learned from Coach Joe is, the league is a man's league. You got to come in ready to go to work and just put your helmet on, your hard hat on, and get after it every day in and day out.
James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Austin, since we weren't at the workouts on Friday, just wanted your insight into one, the weight loss. It gets you down like 13 pounds from last fall. What went into that? And second, just why not the workouts? Are you banged up? Are you injured? And will you be performing individual workouts and drills at a later point for teams?
Yep. Basically, what went behind the weight loss and stuff like that. When I was training we hammered diet, nutrition, and just a bunch of cardio work is really what got me right. And I was preparing up to this point to do the pro day, so I was going to run around 285, 287. That was my goal weight to run and do all my drills in. But unfortunately, I tweaked my hamstring, and so just trying to get back and get right as soon as possible. As far as independent pro days and stuff like that, just waiting to see the whole waiting game right now to see how my hamstring feels.
Matthias Ornelius.
Thank you. Austin, here's Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft.
Thank you.
You answer about the talk that you have with the Buffalo Bills. After the pro day, what do you hear more from the teams, like stuff that you may have to develop for be a better player on the next level, or the qualities that you already have that the teams really like on your game?
Yeah, so a lot of qualities that teams really like about my game would have to be the run game and just being a stout player on the line of scrimmage and defending the run. As far as things that I need to improve, and what they've told me is, being a better pass rusher, and that's been working on this whole offseason, just trying to perfect craft and being a better pass rusher.
Max Torres, Ducks Digest.
Hey, Austin, when we were looking at your time at Oregon, obviously you guys played a lot of big games. Auburn is one of them. Talk about, maybe some of the matchups that you're going to remember most from your time playing in the Pac-12.
Man, like you hit it right on the head. But I'd say the Auburn game is probably the game that I'm going to remember the most. Playing an SEC team, top 15. We're both ranked top 15, and just getting that thrill against the SEC is really fun for me. And I try my best to match their level of intensity, and I thought I did pretty good. And it was one of the most memorable games I had.
That looks like that's all we have for you. Appreciate your time. Good luck. Hope to see you down the road.
Sir, thank you guys.
All right, we are admitting our next player. Diamador, are you there? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yeah, Diamador Lenore coming in here somewhere, coming in hot.
Oh, hello.
You there? You're there, Demo?
Yeah.
Can you turn on your camera? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I'm just changing your name here. All right, questions. We'll start with Alex Fleming from the Florida Sun.
How you doing today, sir? Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. In your personal opinion, considering that most of your games were West Coast, do you believe there's a West Coast bias when it comes to the draft and how they see players?
Not really. I believe the East Coast has more of, I would say, advantage.
Alex Kozora, Steelers Depot.
Hey, appreciate you talking with us. Are teams primarily looking at you as an outside corner or a slot corner? And then also, have you talked with the Pittsburgh Steelers? And if so, who have you spoken with?
I would consider myself an outside corner, but I haven't talked to the Pittsburgh Steelers yet.
Tyson Alger, Athletic.
Hey, Diamador, what was it like training with Thomas again the last few months? And like, was there any part of you that was just curious of like where you guys were going to stack up after you playing the season and then him opting out, and just how that affected your guys' preparation?
It was definitely fun working out with Thomas. You know, we definitely push each other every day to be better than one another. So that just shows how competitive we are. So just him being there, it pushed me to want to be great also.
Jacob Infante.
Hey, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, Diamador. When taking a look at some of the guys that you have in that Oregon defensive back room, you know, you're talking yourself, Thomas Graham, Javon Holland, Brady Breeze. That's a really talented group of guys. Can you speak a little bit about that culture that you guys have developed and what being surrounded by such talented players has helped do for your game as well?
It just kept me elevated, you know, kept me wanting to bring a better part of me every day. And just playing with them made my job easier as an Oregon football player.
Thank you.
Andrew Freeman.
Hey, Andrew Freeman from the Bear Report here. Two things here. Have you met with Chicago Bears at all in the pre-draft process? And second thing, you know, when you look at some of the cornerbacks in the NFL, who are some of the guys that you like to really break down and study and kind of mold your game after on the outside there?
I haven't met with the Chicago Bears yet, but hopefully we will after Pro Day. But the guys I like to watch in the NFL is Xavier Howard, Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey, and Jair Alexander.
Thank you.
Keenan Atchison.
Thanks for taking the time to join us today. I just have a quick question. Would you prefer to be used in a man-to-man scheme or a zone?
Man-to-man, most likely.
Max Torres.
Hey, DD, you know, you're one of the few guys from this pro day, it feels like, that, you know, made the decision to come back and play in the 2020 season. You know, looking back on that, what do you think were your biggest takeaways from having that extra time to, you know, really try to hone your game?
I feel like I became a smarter football player. I feel like my IQ gradually went with me coming back and having an experience that I was able to gain from Coach Chance. So I'd like to thank him for that also. And, you know, it just made me want to be more of a leader, just knowing that I was one of the oldest guys coming back.
Garrett Parker, USA Football.
Yeah, Amador, you're a U.S. national team alum, going back to high school. Can you just talk about how spending time with Team USA and USA Football helped you get better?
It really showed me, it helped me build a lot of relationships, you know, with guys across the world, you know, and that on that team, it was Katie Nixon, Chase Young, Josh Clark, Kerry Vincent. It was a lot of those guys. So just being able to just talk football with them, it just helped me look at stuff in a different perspective.
Edward Kraz.
Hi, Demo. You mentioned Darius Slay. What is it you like about Slay's game, and how would you describe yourself as a player?
I like him because he's very smooth with his transitions, and he has good feet. And the second part of the question, you said, how do I feel about
Well, describe yourself as a player. How would you describe the way you played?
I feel like I'm an aggressive man-to-man press corner. I feel like I'm just the best at what I do.
Next question goes to David Tilton.
Hey, Dio. You met with my co-host of the Air Raid Hour, Steve Mathis, a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to ask you about how you model your game. And you mentioned man-to-man. How much of your game do you model after a guy like Tre'Davious White with the Bills, who's primarily known as a zone corner, but really has kind of excelled in all different types of schemes? And second part of the question is, do you feel like you're versatile enough to play safety as well in the NFL if a team were to ask you to?
Yes, I believe I can definitely play safety, and I feel like I'm one of the most versatile players in the draft, but highly underrated. But I like a few things that Tre'Davious White does. I like the way he moves his feet. He's very patient, and I think he makes a lot of plays.
Yuki Hawkins.
Demo and Wookie Harkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How's it going, big guy?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I know you're not scared of Zach Moss. You already said that you're not scared of that guy. But how would you love the opportunity to play in Buffalo? And what do you know about my guy, Seven McGee?
Oh yeah, Seven McGee. That's like my little brother. Ever since he even committed to Oregon, I always talk to Seven. He's just good guy, very fast, strong. I like him a lot. I think he's gonna do some big things at Oregon.
Megan Price.
Hi, Demo. Megan Price with Sideline Sports. The top pick for Dallas is likely to be a corner. Are you interested in going to Dallas, and have you talked to them?
I haven't talked to Dallas actually, but whatever teams pick me, I love to play, and I'm gonna be a dog for him.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you in Dallas.
Matthias Aurelius.
Thank you. Theo, here's Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. You already talked about being a leader on this team because we have a lot of guys opting out, but we have a bunch of guys in Oregon, the secondary, going for the draft as high picks guys. How do you think that's a kind of statement for the secondary and everything that you can do on the field?
I just think that I feel like we all been blessed, just to get the exposure that we getting. So it feels good, and like I said, there wouldn't be no me. So they made my job easier, and as well as I made their job easier. So I just appreciate it, and we trying to make history.
Thank you. Good luck.
We got one more time for one more question. Max Torres.
Diamador, now that you're off to the league here, the cornerback position becomes very young for the Ducks. We all know about Michael. He's a stud. What can you tell me about the development of DJ James and young guys like Dante Manning?
DJ's grown so much from when he first came in. I feel like he's ready to lock it down. Just seeing him in practice drills since I left and before, and now that I'm back, seeing him in practice drills, I feel like he got a good head on his shoulders, and I feel like he's gonna hold his own, and I think this is gonna be his breakout year.
All right, Damo, appreciate your time. Good luck. Hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, we're going to move on to Javon Hall. And Javon, are you there?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
There he is. Sporting the yellow. All right, let's jump into it. Kai Kanzer, Daily Emerald.
How's it going, Kai Kanzer, Daily Emerald, like you just heard? I was just wondering what your biggest takeaways from Pro Day was, and what's your mindset heading into the next couple weeks?
Biggest pro day, takeaways. I was just excited and happy, how I performed. Most of all, I was happy how we all performed as a group. I knew that we were gonna, come out there and really showcase our talent. And that's really what it was. And then going into the next couple of weeks, really just hunkering down, getting back in the lab, getting back in football shape, training for, whatever team is up taking me.
David Tilton.
Hey, Javon, David Tilton from the Air Raid Hour. First question, have you spoken with the Bills? And second question, how much of your game do you model after former Bill Jarvis Byrd as a safety who also offered punt return ability, as that combination is not really that common in the NFL, and obviously he was quite successful at it?
Yeah, I've talked to the Bills, and I try to model my game specifically off of Tyrann Mathieu, like more toward Tyrann Mathieu. I know Jarvis Byrd did return funds, but like Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, like that's who I was watching, growing up, things like that. There was also a returner from North Carolina, Ryan Schwitzer, and I tried to, model my punt return style off of him. So that's, those are probably my three role models in terms of that.
Thank you.
Ben Standing.
Hey, Javon, just curious, if you could maybe sort of describe your game a little bit. What do you think you can bring to an NFL team kind of right off the bat? And then also, have you had a chance to talk to the Washington football team during this process? And if so, do you know who you spoke with?
I have talked to the Washington football team. It was the special teams coach. And I feel like I am a versatile player. Like, you can kind of put me in any system and I'm going to thrive. I want to be somebody that coaches and, my teammates can rely on, and, they can understand that I'm somebody that's going to make the play when I'm put out there. I'm going to do my job and help my team win.
John Crick.
Hey, Javon. Being born in Canada, and I guess you moved at age 8 down to California. What are your remembrances of Canada? Like, do you consider yourself American Canadian? Do you ever go back much? And secondly, do you see yourself more as a slot corner or a safety? What do you think?
First, of course, I consider myself a Canadian American. I feel like I was, I remember a lot of Canada. I remember a whole lot. And then in terms of, like slot corner or free safety, I guess you could say free safety. I see myself definitely as a deep safety, being in the post and whatnot, but I'm well equipped to, as you see, to come down, step in the slot and guard, tight ends, slot receivers, things like that. So, yeah, free safety.
Jacob Infante.
Hey, Javon, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. Building off of that question about Canada, obviously you've got a lot of guys, especially in this class, from Canada who are entering this class. Speaking with, Chuba Hubbard, Benjamin St. Juste, guys like that, they're all showing a lot of pride. Can you speak a little bit about the rise in players from Canada who are making that leap to the next level? And also, have you spoken with the Bears during this process?
Yeah, I've spoken to the Bears, and being a Canadian in the NFL or in the NFL process, like I feel pride to represent, the Canada. I feel pride to represent where I'm from, because I don't really hear a lot of people coming out of Coquitlam being in the NFL. And I feel honored to be the one to, rep the community. And I've been training with Chuba down in Santa Ana and Proactive. So me and Chuba had this conversation, but being one of the few to be able to rep that type of country, in my eyes, it's my closest thing how I'm going to get to the Olympics, how, people represent their country. So I feel great pride in being that person, that spokesperson for the country.
Thank you.
Alex Kazora.
Hey, Javon, Alex Kazor, Steelers Depot. Have you met with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if so, who have you talked to? And also, I believe your dad played and coached in the CFL. How has that helped you, get to where you're at today, and as you're going through your NFL draft process?
I've spoken to the Steelers, and it was one of the scouts, the local scout, the regional scouts, and I also did like a little questionnaire thing. And then my father being a coach and a player, when I was younger, I didn't realize, how important it was and how much of an advantage I had. And I just thought that he was always on my case because he was just my dad and that's what he did. But really, he knew what it took to get to that next level. And he played in the NFL for the 49ers. So he knew what it took to get to the NFL, the level of work and the work ethic that I had to have and put in. So I'm blessed and be favored to have him, in my corner supporting me no matter what.
Alex Fleming.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. I got 2 questions for you, sir. You're a safety, but are you a ball hawk or an enforcer by nature? And number 2, what could you improve on the next level? Would it be your footwork or your interceptions and hands?
I am a ball hawk by nature. I'm naturally a receiver. For those that don't know, I played receiver in high school, got like 1,000 yards. And then you said, do I need to work on my footwork? Or, of course you need to work on your footwork. There's room to improve. This is the professional level. So you always have to adapt. You always have to grow and improve. So, definitely my footwork, my hands, I feel like my whole game needs to take the next step. Not necessarily that it's not, high level already, but I feel like in order to, stay in the league and be in the league, you need to take that next step to, make sure that you can be somebody who the teams can rely on, like I said before.
Dan Ralph.
Hey, Javon, Dan Ralph of the Canadian Press in Toronto. You made a calculated gamble to sit out 2020 and prepare for the draft. What sort of prompted you to bet on yourself moving forward?
To have confidence in myself. I feel like I have confidence in myself, as much as I can, but I knew what I was capable of and, the level of play that I have, especially throughout the past couple of years. And I feel like I put in the work. So when the situation came to be, I decided to go with the opt-out. And it wasn't really a gamble. I wasn't gambling anything. I knew the outcome was going to be what I was going to put down. And I went out and I did that.
Tough to have no football in the fall, though?
Yeah, it was really tough, for sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Emmanuel Morgan.
Hey, Javon. So when you're talking to teams, how are you trying to connect with them virtually? Because it's kind of hard to connect virtually instead of face to face. And then when you're talking about film, how's the conversation go when you're talking about your opt out?
In terms of connecting virtually, I feel like people connect through words, and you can see my face and you can feel my emotion through my words and my passion, my voice. So I don't think it's necessarily that difficult for people to connect via Zoom. It hasn't been difficult for me. And then in terms of the opt-out process, they just ask what the reasoning behind it was. And then I tell them the reason behind it. And, we move on from that. It's not like an issue. They're not staying in that, on the topic. They're just moving on from it. So yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Dan Wolkenstein.
Hey, Javon, Dan Wolkenstein. I cover the Chargers out here in LA. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good. Hey, 2-part question. 1, have you spoken with the Chargers? And 2, one of the things with the Chargers' new head coach, Brandon Staley, they preach on his versatility, and you just want to have playmaking Jessies, so to speak. Talk about your versatility, potentially playing next to Derwin James in this defense, and what you think you bring to the NFL that maybe folks don't necessarily understand.
Yes, I have talked to Derwin James, and I feel like I'm kind of a unicorn at my size, being able to, be as athletic as I am and as versatile as I am. You don't really see that much. Usually it's a smaller guy, smaller stature. And so being 6 feet, 207, running 4.4, it's kind of unheard of, especially at the safety position. So I definitely think I'm bringing a new aspect of the position, the 2021 version of the nickel spot or the free safety spot.
Yeah. And have you spoken with the Chargers staff?
Yeah, I have.
Awesome. Best of luck. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, we have time for one more question for Javon. Let's go to Edward Cracks.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Javon, just 2 follow-ups. You mentioned the Olympics. What is sport? What event are you thinking about there? And secondly, you mentioned you played wide receiver? How did you get back to the defensive side of the ball?
So with the Olympics thing, I was just saying, if I feel like I'm representing Canada, how somebody would be in the Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Being in the NFL, like That's how I meant the Olympics. Sorry if that was confusing. And then in terms of receiver, so look, I was playing receiver senior year, but I was also playing corner, and then senior high school, of course. And then when I got to Oregon, I was already a DB. Like that was what my position was coming into Oregon. And then actually coming into this year before the season got canceled, I was going to end up playing receiver, just because Coach Cristobal was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you at receiver," because he knew the level of talent I have at receiver. And it would have been nice, but some things, not meant to be reached. So, yeah. And then I just, yep.
Thank you, Javon. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Good luck. Good seeing you around here. All right, let's move on to Panay Sewell. Panay, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you. That's a good start. Let's open it up to questions, and let's start with Xenophon Zenny Abraham.
Yeah, thank you. Panay Zenny Abraham of Zenny 62 Media. Have you had a contact from, I was about to say Oakland Raiders out of force of habit, but the Las Vegas Raiders or the San Francisco 49ers? Thank you.
Yeah, I've been in contact with a little bit both teams, more towards the 49ers. The contact's been good. Conversations have been fun.
Follow up, if I may. Your favorite offensive tackle in the NFL? Thank you.
Ties in with the 49ers still, and Trent Williams. Trent Williams is my favorite player right now, and the way his athleticism and power goes hand in hand. It's very interesting and exciting to watch him.
Fernando Ramirez, SI.
Hey, Panay. Have you spoken to the Chargers at all? That's my first question. Second one is, the last time you suited up and played in a game, Justin Herbert was your quarterback. What would it mean for you for him to be your quarterback again if drafted by the Chargers?
I've been talking to the Chargers. Conversations have been made. And to block for Herb again, man, I think it's another dream and another, a vision that would be fun. Just like you said, block for Herbert throughout this whole time I've been here at Oregon. And to have that chance again to share the same field as him would be a dream come true.
Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Panay. Speaking of Justin Herbert, have you had any conversations with him as far as just transitioning from college into the NFL and that NFL lifestyle and landscape?
Yeah, definitely leading into signing ages and so on and so forth. As y'all know, me and Justin are under the same agency. And I hit him up talking about what the tips on what I need and help me go out through this process and what to think. And and also just a friendly conversation to see how he's doing, to see how he's holding up. And a little chatter here and there about whether we'll play together or not.
Quick follow-up. How much would you like it to play if you had the opportunity to play in SoFi Stadium?
Sure. To play with her, would be, again, dream come true. That's my brother. The relationship that we created here when I became the Oregon Duck is second to none. And again, that's a relationship that I'll carry out throughout my whole life and to the grave. So to be able to share it again, to be able to share the field with Justin Herbert will mean a lot.
The Orlando Ledbetter.
Yes, Panay. Have you talked with the Falcons, and would it be an honor to go at 4?
I've talked with the Falcons, and it'd be an honor to go wherever. But definitely, if I went that early, it would eliminate a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty in my mind. But wherever I go, it'd be fun. But yeah.
And just a follow-up, could you describe for the folks in Atlanta what your game is like and how you like to play along the offensive line?
I like to play real physical. I like to use my body type to my advantage and to really get up in under people's chin and to really showcase my mentality also to go along with my physicality, that I'm coming off the ball every play with violent intentions and that nothing less is coming from there.
Thank you.
Tyson Alger.
Hey, Penny, just what did it mean to be able to kind of do pro day with Gabe there, and just kind of how did that come about with Cristobal inviting him to participate?
Oh yeah, to be able to share that moment with him was again another one in my in my memory books and something that I'll cherish when I'm old and look back onto things. But yeah, I mean, Cristobal knew, and Cristobal is like family to me. He's like my another dad in my eyes. So the conversation has been made, whether.
Hey Google, broadcast. Hey Mom, how you doing? I'm in the living room visiting.
All right, broadcasting now.
Presented itself that he was going to do pro day with me. It made things a lot easier too to kind of go throughout the process, knowing that he's kind of gone through it too, and him being there just kind of guiding me and kind of giving me little pointers on what to think and what to really just to be free-minded to go out there and do what I do. So having him there right beside me was, again, something that I'll cherish forever.
Chris Kwasinski. Hey, Panay. I'm with the newspaper in St. George, Utah. I just wanted to ask, how have you changed since you were starting at Desert Hills? I mean, both as a player and as a person.
Ultimately, if I would choose one word.
Hey Google, broadcast. Hey Mom, I heard you. I can hear you. So it sounds like you're doing fine. I was just checking on you, Zenny.
Flip the switch to a whole different mentality of locking in.
All right, broadcasting now.
Really taking that next step to be a better player and also be a better person on off the field. So just kind of, again, being mature about it too. Again, as young as I am, I feel like I've grown to really, I guess, grow up a little quickly than the people in my age. But yeah, just ultimately my mentality has switched over to become a man.
James Crapia.
Today at Pro Day, just what was it like when the Bengals GM and coach are both there? I think one of them was even running one of the drills when there's so many projections that have you going there. And there, I mean, obviously you hear the chatter, man. So just when there's millions of dollars on the line and your potential future employer is there looking at you, just what was that like?
It did at first create a little, like I was a little nervous coming in, but again, having Gabe there was made things a little easier. He was just being that support for myself too, and also just at the end of the day, football is football to me, and so just going out there clear-minded, not really getting those logos and those people's, the teams and stuff, not to get over my head about that, not to really overthink about that. So at the end of the day, just going out there performing and doing what I do, and being between those lines at Pro Day definitely brought a lot of memories, especially back in the mold. So yeah, just enjoying the moment and be me.
Jay Morrison, The Athletic.
Hey, Panay, Jay Morrison from The Athletic in Cincinnati. I'm just wondering, obviously, if a team that drafts you asks you to play guard, you're not going to rock the boat and say no, but how motivated would you be to prove them wrong and can prove you're one of the two best tackles on the roster? And secondly, did anyone make you aware of the sign that Bengals fans hung in the stadium about you at the end of last year?
So yeah, with that first question, I'd love to prove everything that I have on my plate, to really come out every day, each and every day, to prove that I'm worthy to be in this league and to be a tackle in this league. And whatever I have to do, whatever steps that looks like, I will do, and I will accomplish it. And then that second question, yes, I did see it. I was playing video games with my brothers, and then my agent hit me. He was talking and saying that there's this big sign on the game right now. You should turn it on. So I turned it on, and I saw it.
All right, thank you.
Dan Wilkenstein.
Hey, Panay, Dan Wilkenstein. I cover the Chargers out here in LA. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So you haven't played for a bit. We hear a lot of talks about Rashawn Slater. You hear a bunch of different guys that are now saying potentially they could be OT1. It seemed like for a bit, some people were kind of sleeping on what you brought and kind of your, overall talent. What do you have to say to people that say that you are no longer offensive tackle one? What do you have to prove?
At the end of the day, that's their own opinion. But for me, man, again, just go put on the tape. Everybody just go ahead and watch what I do. And it's nobody can do what I do in this draft, in the offensive tackle rooms. So I bring something totally different to the table. And I think people notice that. People know that. But again, people will say whatever they want to say. And all I have to say is put on the tape and watch me work.
Okay, and just a quick follow-up. How would you say you've improved this year with you taking time off? What's the biggest thing you've done better?
Oh, I've learned so many different types of little techniques that come along with this game too. So I've gone with the NFL people, players that played before, or coaches that coached in the league for a long time. So again, with them and kind of soaking up the knowledge that they have for me, it was just something that I really benefited from this time off. And so this whole time I've just been working on that, being a sponge, and also just every day, day in and day out, knowing that I opted out and sitting out through this time, that the next time I have an opportunity to step in between those lines, that I'm going to make the most of it. And that I'm coming with everything that I have, and I'm not coming up short.
Last question goes to Dave Burkett.
Hey, Panay, appreciate your time. Two things. Who were some of those people that you were working out with, I guess? Both you're talking to the NFL guys and the guys that you were working out with.
So Sam Baker was the main guy out there. He used to play for Atlanta Falcons for a long time. And then Paul Alexander, too. He came to California here and there and kind of helped me out.
And then you were talking about playing with violent intentions. I think that, a lot of people love to hear that. Seems like a Dan Campbell kind of guy, kind of thing to say to the Lions coach. I don't know what your conversations have been like with him, but maybe you can just enlighten me a little bit on what that relationship has been like.
A little bit, not too much. Talk here and there, but yeah, going back to those violent intentions. The first time I ever heard that phrase was Coach Mirabal in the O-line room. So once he introduced that phrase, it kind of stuck with me. Like it never left, and that kind of carried out throughout my whole 2019 season once I heard that. And I think that's what I mean by going back to mentality, how I switched it, and coming off in between those lines, I turned that on, and I turned on that violent intentions every time, whether it's pass, blow, run, block, or even just everybody around me, or just like the environment itself, just coming along and knowing that my presence is there, and that if you line up across me, I want to let you know that it's going to be a long day.
Thanks, Panay. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your patience. Sorry we didn't get to everybody. Obviously, 10 minutes is a tight time frame, so try to get through as many as possible. Again, appreciate it, and go Ducks.
Well, folks, that ends. Let's see if I can get in here. That ends our Pro Day, Oregon Pro Day coverage. It was 52 minutes and 22 seconds. Got all but 10 minutes up at the start, but we got, as you might say, the biggest hitter, who is offensive tackle. And I'm going to segment these and distribute those out on Zenny62 on YouTube this week. So thanks, everybody. And if you haven't done so before, subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. That ends this broadcast.